let's go with SM. Again, one of the largest companies in the Philippines in terms of market cap. This is another textbook breakdown right here. Part of the top 5 largest stocks in the Philippines, because where BDO and ALI goes, it drags also the index altogether. Now, if you'll see it right here, it looks similar in terms of dynamic. Now, you have a breakdown, which happened to ALI. For BDO, it happened right here. Similar to, I think, SM Investments, a breakdown happened, but after the breakdown happened, you could possibly see also downward direction for the stock. So for TEL, for PLDT, this is its downward slope. And by the time we're recording this also, it's below the 20, 50, 100, and 200-day moving average. Hey guys, so we are back once again with another stocks by request session where we analyze, we talk about the top stocks that you guys requested via your DMs, via the postings that you have in social media. Now, I want to go through this from the lens of technical analysis. So please do note this, that technical analysis is not a forecasting tool. Technical analysis is not something that's also guesswork, but technical analysis is basically a risk management tool that allows you to analyze stocks or even cryptocurrencies by using past prices and volume. So everything that we're seeing right now is literally us looking at the past using volume. And as we analyze past prices, it allows us to decide today if the stock is worth buying or avoiding if you have cash, or is it worth selling or holding on to if you still own the stock. I want to start everything off right now with Ayala Land because it had the largest volume during the last trading day. My style, by the way, is I try to somehow also zoom out to get context on where it's actually headed, because at the end of the day, when you're analyzing stocks, it's nice to know where the trend is. When you know where the trend is, it gives you a sense of direction. This is me zooming out up until some point in 2019. Now, I just want to note this to all of you guys, that there's a resistance right here at 39.86. As you can see, it tried to attack this particular level over the past few months, over the past few years, but it really hasn't gone above that particular price point. Now, that being said, I want to also note this, that over a period of time, it formed a support right here at the 31.25 mark, which over more than a year, it stayed at that level. But that being said, if I'll zoom in here, you can see it very, very clear. Somewhere around May 2022, we saw Ayala Land breakdown from 31.25 support level, followed by large red candles. And for those who attended my technical analysis sessions and even read my books, whenever there's a red candle, from a market psychology standpoint, a larger amount of people wanting to get out, wanting to sell at a faster rate, even if they sell it at a lower price, they're relatively okay with that. Now, that being said, I also want to note this, that if you look at it right here, you have the 20, 50, 100, and 200-day moving averages at the time of the breakdown, already bearish. And when that happened, you saw a cascading movement downward. Now, this is something that's very interesting because it somehow also mimics how majority of stocks around the world look like, and also the cryptocurrency market. As you can see right here, you have a downward trending slope for Ayala Land, which started somewhere around March 2022. Looking at it short, mid, and long term from a trend analysis perspective, and you also have MACD supporting it. Ayala Land is currently still in a downward trending slope, and as you can see right here also, from the 20, 50, 100, and 200-day moving average, nothing much has changed from the time it started to break down last May 2022. So from the breakdown, all of the moving averages are bearish still up until now. From the breakdown, MACD is also bearish. Now, from a short-term perspective, for those who want to trade thinner ranges, you can actually put a support line here, which is the 25.54 mark. As you can see also, since June 2022, every time it hit that level, it held its ground, it stood its ground, and we have not seen it fall below that particular level. Now, that being said, if you'll allow me to zoom out even further, if it does not hold this level, you'll actually see it right here, that the lowest that we have seen Ayala Land from an intraday level is around 19.45 pesos per share, and that was the time when the lockdowns just started, and we have not seen Ayala Land go below the 25 mark. So very, very crucial to see how it goes and if this 25 peso support level will actually hold its ground, because if it does not hold its ground, there's a bigger sense that we may see more downside into this stock. I want to note this to all of you also, that if you'll try to look at the other stocks that we'll talk about later, they somehow look the same, because when an entire market is in a downtrend, you will also see majority of the stocks that are following it or have a broad sense of generally how the economy is also, you'll generally see them almost looking the same. Now, from a short-term perspective though, for those who want to trade this is one tradable range. If it bounces off the 25.54 support level, your next possible target price is somewhere here at the 31 peso mark, which gives you a 22.55% upside. Or another way to look at it from a shorter term perspective is you have a short-term resistance at the 27.57 mark. So if the 25.54 level will hold, then your next target for you to be able to sell or at least take profits is at the 27.57 mark. This marks an 8.4% upside from the area of support. I hope you guys are learning. I hope that this is something that's helping you. If you guys have other stocks that you guys want me to analyze, I'm gonna try to do this more. Put it in the comment section below, and let's see in the middle of the week if I can make more videos for you guys in order to give you as much value as possible, because really at the end of the day, the whole goal of why I'm doing this is to give as much value to all of you as possible. If you want to learn more about this, we have a technical analysis course down below. You can check it out. It's a webinar. You can watch it anytime you want, or you can check out my book, Breaking the Resistance, where I wrote down all of this in book format for you to be able to digest and learn the principles, strategies, and rudiments of technical analysis. Now, let's continue with BDO, which is, in terms of market cap, part of the top 5 largest stocks in the Philippines in terms of market capitalization, and they form part of how the index is in terms of how it's pretty much analyzed also, because where BDO and Ali goes, it drags also the index altogether. Now, if you'll see it right here, it looks similar in terms of dynamic. Now, you have a breakdown which happened to Ali. For BDO, it happened right here, somewhere in mid-June. Then after the breakdown, you saw it consecutive days of large selling. Then it hit a level of support. For BDO, it's 110 pesos per share. Now, that being said, if I'll put a resistance here, it's very, very evident also that for the short term, you have a resistance at the 119 mark. Now, that being said, for those who bought at the 110 peso level, over the next few days, at least for next week, if BDO does not go above the 119 mark, it's not wrong to take profits if you are a short-term trader and you're trading the range. So it's a very, very clear bounce from oversold levels of RSI, 110 support, 119 resistance. So for next week, from a quick trading perspective, if BDO does not break out from 119, it's okay, take profits on that position. However, if it breaks out from that particular level, then your next possible area for resistance is somewhere around here, or you could use or reference the 200-day moving average as a level of resistance. So a breakout from 119 to 126 is around 6%, and a breakout from 119 to 133 is about 11.88. Or if you bought here at the support, your upside would still be around 20+%, which is quite decent given where the market is right now. And given that this is a stock market, it's not as alluring in terms of the volatility, but it somehow could give you still respectable trading ranges as well. We had Ali, we had BDO. Let's look at another large cap stock. Let's look at SM Prime. Generally, it looks sideways. Nothing much has changed in terms of its movement. Support is around 31.75. Resistance is at 40. So it's pretty much nearing the resistance already right now. And what's interesting about this is that we've seen a lot of stocks that have been heavily battered. This one pretty much stayed in its sideways consolidation. It pretty much stayed in its range since the end of 2020 to where it is right now. And over the past few days, we've seen it bounce from the 200-day moving average. Although there was a bit of selling that happened right here, 2 straight days of selling. But if it holds above the 100-day moving average, possible narrative at the very least for SM Prime, it could hit back and go to the 40 peso mark. If not, could see continued downside back here to the 36.15 support level. So for next week, watch out for the 100-day moving average. If it goes above the 100-day moving average, then the narrative is you could possibly see SM Prime go to the 40.2 mark. If it does not hold the 100-day moving average, possible downside will bring it to the 200-day moving average, which is somewhere near right now the 36 peso mark. Comment below if you're learning and if this is something that's helping you. Let's go with SM. Again, one of the largest companies in the Philippines in terms of market cap. This is another textbook breakdown right here. The breakdown for SM Investments happened somewhere here, March 2022. Similar to majority of the market, similar also to a lot of the stocks that I've mentioned to you. After the breakdown, very, very clear here that it's in a downward trending slope. But over the past few days, We've seen it after the bounce here. There's a very, very distinct bounce for SM at the 763 mark. After bouncing off that level, it's now trying to threaten and break past this downward trending slope, which also coincides. Now, if you look at it from an intraday level, it hit the 100-day moving average, and after hitting the 100-day moving average, it went down, and as it started to go down, it went also below the trend line. So a couple of things to watch out for, at least for next week. If SM Prime goes above the 50-day moving average, stays above the 50-day moving average, then it has a shot to do two things. Number one, break out from this downward trending slope, and also break out from this 100-day moving average. However, if it does not break out from this 100-day moving average, then it also denotes that if you were able to buy at the support, which happened a couple of times here, somewhere here at the middle of June and somewhere here at the start of July, then it's not wrong also to take profits here. Again, our goal is not to forecast the market. Our goal is not to be emotional to stocks that we're actually buying. Our goal is, if you are in it to trade, again, please do note that trading and investing are two different things. They're two different scenarios. The style for each are totally different. When you are investing, you should fall in love with the stock. When you are trading, your goal is not to fall in love with the stock, but your goal is to get out of that position if the signals already warrant that you're supposed to get out of that particular position. That's where we are for SM. But looking at it from a trend standpoint, it's very, very far still from the 200-day moving average. The 200-day moving average is at 924. So a reversal for SM Prime, at least from a technical analysis point of view, is not yet there. Now, that being said, I want to talk about Converge. If you notice it, there was a very, very large move up at some point in 2021, but after that, it got followed by a sell down. Then you saw it consolidate a bit. But I want to put the resistance for Converge somewhere around here and the support somewhere around here. Now, do you see the support at the 22.34 mark? Comment below if you see it very well. Now, I'm using another style. Now, this is not using moving averages or MACD. This is just purely the chart or the candlesticks. Now, you see your support right here at the 18.34 mark. And that being said, over the past few days, we're seeing Converge flirt very, very close to the resistance at the 22.34 area. Now, that being said, if it fails to break out from this particular area, then possible downside could possibly go here at the 18.39 mark. Now, if you already bought here, it's not wrong also to take profit, especially if your mentality for this particular trade is quick trading. This is a 23.1% trade, and it gave you already the signal in just a few days. So a few days trading, 23.1% is not bad. So watch for it over the next few days. If it doesn't break out of the 23.1 mark, it's not wrong to take profits. However, if it does break out of the 23.1 mark, your next possible narrative or your next possible target or where it could possibly go is at 25.38 resistance area, and that could be an area also for you to set your sell prices as well. I know I talk a lot about PLDT when it comes to dividend investing, but at least for this particular video, let's look at it from the lens of trading. Let's look at it from the lens of technical analysis. Similar to, I think, SM investments, a breakdown happened, but after the breakdown happened, you could possibly see also downward direction for the stock. So for PLDT, this is its downward slope, and by the time we're recording this also, it's below the 20, 50, 100, and 200-day moving average. And if you notice it, the red line, the 20-day moving average, that's what the downward trending slope is actually following right now. And I just want to note this to all of you, that if you place a resistance right here, somewhere around the 2000 area, or at least somewhere around the 1977 mark, if you look at it, very, very long, very, very strong, and for the longest time, PLDT has not broken out from that particular resistance level. Now, that being said, that's a very, very strong resistance. It needs to break out of that, and if it breaks out of that from a very, very long and very, very strong resistance, then in terms of breakouts, in terms of upsides, then it may open a whole new set of upward movement, at least for PLDT. We're not at the resistance right now. It has broken down from the 20, 50, 100-day moving average and also the 200-day moving average. MACD is also bearish, but it's very, very close already to oversold levels. Now, that being said, it's quite clear that it's building a support right here, 1666 area. That being said, watch out for this level over the next few days, that if it stays here and builds a support, then your possible area for it, possible narrative, possible movement, at least for PLDT, is that it could go back and attack the next resistances. So if it goes back and challenges the main resistance, it's okay to also take profits, as it tries to go for the next resistance. This is going to give you around an 18.8% upside from the support of 1666 to 1977, that's going to give you around 18.8%. But if you're trading shorter durations, I really do believe that the 200-day moving average, and I've been very consistent about this, that there's resistances at the 200-day moving average, that if it fails to break out from the 200-day moving average, then that could be an area for you also to sell. That could be an area also for you to take profits. So for the short term, that could give you, looking at it from an upside perspective, that's about a 7.4% trade from a 1,666 support to 200-day moving average, which is about the 1,791 mark. So you can pick, but everything is hinging on PLDT staying above the 1,666 level, because if it does not stay at that level, then it opens up a level of downside with the support right here at next possible retracement areas at the 1,605 mark. So there, we talked about a variety of stocks. If you guys learned a lot, and if this was something that was helpful for all of you, appreciate it. And since you stayed up until the end, if you could like, share, subscribe, and share this to more people. This video is free. This allows you to learn also at your own pace, and I'm giving the prime years of my life to be able to teach, educate more people, to be able to trade the markets with confidence. So one way for you to help the YouTube algorithm is just by pressing the like button, and it's something that helps this video a lot as well. And if you guys have questions, or if you guys have any other stocks that you guys want me to analyze, put them down below. But the next time I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna make a video for all of you with the questions that you have or the stocks that you guys want me to analyze. Then aside from that, I mentioned it earlier, if you want to learn more about technical analysis, all of the details are down below as well. And I hope that this was something that was helpful. Tomorrow, I'm gonna make a video about the index. I'm gonna make a video about where the market is headed, given everything that's going on. And I hope that also gives you value as well. So stay tuned for that. And this is Marvingermo. I hope this video helps you trade well, trade strong, trade smart. See you all again soon, and God bless you all.